I changed out the bottom board and moved the double bubble insulation to the underneath the bottom board. And then since I cleaned this out yesterday and had a bunch of dead bees clogged up in there, I went ahead and opened up like a little 3/8, a little bit bigger than a 3/8 thing, so mortician bee would be able to drag a dead bee out, and that's going to add a little bit of ventilation. And to compensate that, I close this down a little bit. It's a little bit more than halfway closed now. They're already sniffing it out right now. And this stuff can pop right back out if I need to. You know, ideally in the summer you don't have any restrictors in here, but I've got some cold days and nights coming. Gonna have maybe a little bit of rain tonight, and it maybe get cold enough to snow. Gonna have a big chill coming through for some days, and I'm concerned because inside the hive right here in the middle, just about 3 inches in, I have a sensor, and it was reading 2 days ago in the high 40s, and I don't want the inside of the hive that cold. I've been looking at dew point and the outside temperature, and added insulation, added this stuff that is just comes right off. And what these straps are really cool because you could adjust them, so I got it good and snug, and so improving the insulation. And it made about a between 8 and 10 degree difference last night, overnight. But it's cold right now. It's maybe 50, and they're coming out. Where the other hive, the Ergo hive, has, you know, good insulation, like R5 all the way built into it, plus added. As soon as the sun hits the landing board, the Ergo, they're out flying. Where this hive, it took a while. The sun was on it for quite a bit, and they started slowly coming out. Anyway, sealed it up a bunch with some with like honeycomb, smashed honeycomb. So it's not very clean, but it'll slow down the cracks and seal it up a little bit, because I'm concerned about that draft coming in. I'll only want them to vent from the entries, and we'll be adding a CO2 monitor into this. I don't know if I'll get that done today, but I do have a CO2 monitor where I can watch the CO2, which bees are actually really tolerant to high CO2. Varroa mites are not. So I'm thinking it may be a double-edged sword to keep them from clustering. You know, you hear it all the time where, you know, my bees died. They all were clustered on one frame, and like the next frame over was, you know, tons of honey, and it's just so cold they can't get it. I have a sensor up in the top in the feeder, and it stayed, I think, above 70, so they can go up there and feed. There's a HiveGate patty up in there that they've been working on, and it looks like they're doing a good job on that. So I had a lot of dead bees come out of the hive, scraped out, and probably about 50 of them stuck in that closed off one. So that's why it's open. And probably several hundred came out mostly on this side of the hive. Had a couple hundred bees, and they smelled, so they'd been there through these heavy atmospheric river rains we've been having for about on and off for like 6 weeks. So anyway, that's the update on that.